Alcime, this I vow to you. I will love you forever. In this life and the next, I promise you.
Jason.
Training room! A sword!
I'll circle around. Meet you at the front.
He doesn't leave the room! Kill the king!
Jason!
Captain Idas! Protect the king! He's a black tongue, Jason.
Stay here, Idas.
Leave me! You men, go with the king!
Black Tongues, rise again! Jason! It's over.
Did I not do everything you asked of me? Why then? Here, of all places, on your sacred island, I do not accept it. If this is your will, I do not accept it.
Jason, your uncle was looking for you. He wanted to know when you planned to give last rites to Alcime.
If I send her spirit to the underworld, I'll never get her back.
Get her back? How?
I don't know how. I don't have the answer yet, but there must be a way.
I wish I had the answers to give you. But perhaps I know someone who could. Someone whose business is answers. The Oracle at Delphi.
Delphi?
If anyone would know, it would be her.
Yes, the Oracle. Master Argos finishes a great ship as we speak. It will serve.
Delphi's not easily said. Does he know the way?
I don't know, but I aim to find out. Come, we'll ask him ourselves.
Oh, remember, your uncle is ahead in the courtyard. He wanted to speak with you. I told him I'd let you know.
I wouldn't blame him if he didn't. He loved her. King Jason, how can I express my sorrow?
Thank you for your sympathy.
My cousin and I were surprised to learn of the friendship between Hercules and yourself. How did you meet?
Iolcus is a land sacred to Zeus, Hercules' father.
Jason has been kind enough to offer his hospitality as the Warden of Zeus when I've come to visit.
That's another thing. This Warden of Zeus. What does that title mean?
All kings of Iolcus who complete the 5 trials of Zeus assume that title. In doing so, we swear to defend this land and the honor of Zeus against all threats. In some ways, it's a ceremonial title that reflects the strong attachment between Zeus and Iolcus.
But what does the Warden do exactly?
The Warden of Zeus is charged with defending the island of Iolcus. We take a sacred oath to never leave this land once we pass our trials, and to be ever vigilant against any threat. In return, each Warden earns Zeus's protection. No Warden has ever fallen in battle on Iolcan soil.
Fascinating. What else?
One of the Warden's most important duties is to perform a number of ceremonies in honor of Zeus. For example, the Warden performs the first sacrifice of the harvest season each year. God of hospitality, Zeus demands that we also care for any traveler who arrives on Iolcus. The Warden personally sees to the safety and well-being of those travelers.
Your hospitality is second to none. Are there other duties?
Most of a Warden's time is spent training and preparing for situations we hope never arise. When a Warden has a son, he turns to his boy's training, preparing him for the trials he is to face. That training is the basis for a lifetime of dedicated practice and devotion.
Such dedication. Is there anything else?
The Warden is responsible for ensuring that the people of Iolcus receive justice. I often hear the cases of the people and offer judgment and arbitration. Another duty is to enforce the law and punish those who break it.
A truly noble calling. Is there more?
I'm sorry. I have some urgent matters to attend to. Perhaps we can speak of my duties some other time.
Oh, I see. Of course. How can you be so cold?
New life will be good for this place. Sir, we'll have this garden looking better than ever. I promise you.
Carry on.
There you are, Jason. It's good to see you out of that mausoleum. It isn't healthy to linger over the dead, nephew. Iolcus needs its king. Captain Idas has finished his investigation. Petitions await, and we must set a date to give last rites to Alcime.
There will be no date for that.
What? Jason, I am your uncle, and I care for you. The will of the gods may be a mystery to us all, but to deny Alcime her last rites is unnatural.
Until I'm certain there's no way to bring her back, I will not do it.
Bring her back? Alcime is dead. You seek the impossible.
Our legends speak of heroes who have done wondrous things. Things that would have been deemed impossible until they were done. And of those deeds, the greatest were done for love. I'm going to Delphi, Uncle. I'll find my answers there.
This is the despair of grief. You're not thinking clearly. Alcime would not approve.
Do not presume to say what she would think, Uncle. Alcime lies in the mausoleum behind me. I speak for her now, and I say she was a daughter of Ares. And if there is any way to she would demand I find it.
I understand your ardor, Jason, but have you thought this through? Delphi is not found on any map. Find 100 charts, and each will point a different way.
I would trust Argos's charts above any other. Hercules and I will go ask him ourselves.
Very well. I know better than to argue with you when your mind is set. I will consult our records about the location of Delphi, in case Master Argos doesn't know the way.
Thank you, Uncle.
Delphi, I pray you find the answers you seek, nephew. I will go to the royal court and maintain some semblance of order there.
Those Ionians must be mad to risk the wrath of Zeus.
are barbarians who worship the old gods. They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
King Jason, my family and I grieve for your loss.
I thank you.
Some of the other guests and I were discussing the reaction of Mycenae to this tragedy. Do you think Mycenae will seek revenge for the loss of their princess?
Mycenae and Iolcus have long been allies. This tragedy is one we share.
You're right, of course. And yet, King Lycomedes is not known for his understanding. I'm curious, King Jason. Why was Alcime's father not present at the wedding?
He was occupied, mediating a treaty between neighboring islands. As king of Mycenae and a priest of Ares himself, his presence is enough to ensure peace between rivals.
I see. May Hera bless you.
Those Ionians must be mad to risk the wrath of Zeus.
Barbarians who worship the old gods. They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
Like I said,
Zeus protect you.
why come here
And you, Photios.
to attack?
I have a message from Master Argos, sir. He says your ship is nearly finished. He awaits your inspection aboard the ship itself.
Thank you. Was there anything else? You seem troubled today.
Would not be so bold as to look westward.
It's Thano, sir. My closest friend, and a good servant to you. He was killed in the attack. What's more, he died in my arms, and gave to me his final words, meant for his wife, Agatha. It isn't an easy message to bear, sir, and I've yet to find the resolve to do it.
Someone has to do it. The woman deserves that much. If you can't, I will.
They are barbarians.
I don't envy you the task.
They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
What he told me, as he lay dying, was that he always loved Agatha, even though he was not always faithful. He hoped she would remember him as a good man, if not a perfect one, and find it in her heart to forgive him.
Ionia would not be so bold
You see,
to look westward.
not the easiest matter to address.
It is delicate. I'll give this message to Agatha.
It's unheard of. Attacking Iolcus.
Hail, Warden!
Lieutenant Platon, Idas says you fought like a lion during the attack. Well done.
6 Ionians felt the kiss of my mace. Praise Ares.
I didn't know you were a follower of Ares.
Aye, sir. Most of the guard choose Zeus as their patron. But I'm an Ares man, like my father before me. I find his blessings are best suited for this type of work.
And do you bring Ares' virtues to the guard?
I do. And to be honest, I think the guard would benefit if more men did as well. The followers of Ares believe that a warrior who thinks long lives short. Cowardice and shirking comes from thinking too much. No, us Ares men believe in doing, not thinking. We speak plainly and act directly. That's the Ares way.
Ares is the lord of battle and courage. But what of the patrols and regulations of a guard's life?
I'm not fond of them either, but there's more glory to be had here than on a farm. That was the choice I had, and it was an easy one to make. Besides battle and courage, Ares also rules over manliness, instinct, and virility. And those are traits that help a man in all walks of life, if you get my meaning.
As you were, Lieutenant Platon.
Hail, sir. The new recruits are raw, but they've got promise.
I heard you were the first to raise the alarm during the attack, Myron.
Yes, sir. I spotted those Ionians while patrolling the palace and made the call to arms. I just wish I could have found them earlier. Perhaps Queen Alcime would still be with us.
Save wishes for Wells, Myron. We can't change the past. We can only work to change the future. It is only in what we do now that we can hope to undo what has gone before.
You're right. And I can best serve Iolcus by getting these new recruits in line.
Hail, King Jason.
Lieutenant Avarius, how goes the training?
Lieutenants Myron and Platon are putting the new recruits through their paces. They're rough, but they'll learn.
Perhaps I could teach them a thing or two.
Would you? Listen up, you men. You've a rare honor today. King Jason himself is going to show you how a warrior fights. This is one of our newest recruits, King Jason. Breathe, boy. Can't have you passing out before you started.
Don't be nervous. Try your best.
That's how you do it, men. Now you understand why he's the warden. Perhaps the king will show us how to fight against multiple opponents. King Jason?
Of course.
Right. You too.
Let's make it 3.
As you say, my king. You 3. Learn from the king. I hope everyone's paying close attention. You all have a lot of work to do. Some of the men were asking about how to deal with a spearman. Perhaps you and Lieutenant Myron can demonstrate.
Lieutenant Myron, when you're ready, have some of the recruits join you.
The spear offers reach and precision. Watch the king and learn, recruits. Watch how he reacts to my spear. Honor us, King Jason.
Ida's taught me well, but it's up to all of you to train hard.
Another lesson? Against Lieutenant Platon and his mace, perhaps.
Lieutenant Platon, when you're ready, have some of the recruits join you.
The mace is a weapon of deliberate power. You men keep an eye on how King Jason contends with it. Well fought, King Jason. We can all learn much from you.
What do you say to one final lesson? My sword could use some practice.
Lieutenant Avarius, when you're ready.
The sword is quick and agile. Learn from the king and how he responds to my attacks. You're the best warrior on Iolcus, and you have been for some time. This has been an honor for us all, my king.
Hail, hail! Hail, hail! Hail, hail!
Continue your training. Remember, you fight for Iolcus, so honor her with your effort.
I think they were sending a message to all of Greece. We must prepare for war.
Yes, I've heard that one too.
No stone will ever capture your beauty.
Hail, sire.
Guard Pathrus, what troubles you?
Grief, my king, for your loss and for mine. My younger brother Timaeus was killed in the attack.
Timaeus was your brother? He leapt in front of me and took an assassin's arrow. He died in valor.
His ambition went beyond a noble death. Captain Idas had just promoted him to be the Guard's standard bearer. And now this. How can I face my father with such news?
Timaeus died for me. It's my responsibility to tell your father.
You'd do that for me? Speak to my father, Mnason, at his farm?
Yes, but there is something you must do. Guard Pathrus. See that the spear of the Iolcan standard bearer is sent to your father in honor of Timaeus' sacrifice.
Such an honor would no doubt ease his suffering. My thanks to you, King Jason.
Sir, I'm sorry. We were just talking idly.
It's all right.
It's just that we've heard so many rumors about what happened. I don't know what to think.
The threat is over. The danger is past. As for who is responsible and why it happened, leave that to myself.
Of course, sir. It's a comfort to hear that from our warden.
The gods must be propitiated. This is a sign of their anger.
I've already sent word to have 2 prized bulls offered up to Zeus.
Just 2? My people sacrificed 3 fatted bulls, 6 heifers, and a black mule.
Perhaps I should do the same as a show of humility. Servant.
That beauty's name was Alcime, and we'll sing her praise forever. But once transplanted on a foreign shore,
Jason! It's ill fortune to see me the night before our wedding.
It is ill fortune not to see you, any night or any day.
I'm told Argos' ship is almost ready for us. Where will we go first?
Alcime, I have sworn to watch over Iolcus.
I know, Warden. You have your duty. Fortunately, Iolcus is so perfect I could stay here forever. Now, King Jason, this humble princess of Mycenae is going to retire. And she does not expect to see you again until such time as you are ready to wed her.
Get your rest, princess. I don't think you'll have much sleep tomorrow.
Well, that's up to you, but I hope not.
Is something the matter, Jason?
No, it's nothing.
its beauty withered, and it was no more. King Jason, I am Antiphon, royal poet. May Hermes guide your path in these dark times. When I have felt the sting of loss, my devotion to the messenger has always been a comfort.
How so, Antiphon?
We often see Lord Hermes as the most light-hearted of the Olympians, a trickster, a storyteller, a rogue. But he is also the spirit guide. When I have lost a loved one, it helps to remember they pass to Hermes' care.
I imagine Hermes' virtues help you with your poems.
Without them, I could scarcely call myself a poet. Followers of Hermes place wit above all other qualities. As we like to say, strength wanes and beauty fades, but only wit grows day by day. We also value agility of mind and body. It's said the best poets and the best swordsmen all pray to Hermes for his blessings. Diverse company indeed.
It seems I find followers of Hermes in more professions than any other of the Olympians.
Poets and athletes, merchants and thieves, travelers and shepherds, Hermes watches over all of these. Then there are his more official duties. Messenger of the gods, lord of the four winds, guide to the spirits of the fallen, keeper of lore. And he also inspires the placing of Hermes, of course.
What poem are you working on now, Antiphon?
Ah, yes. I've been composing an elegiac verse to honor the memory of Princess Alcime. Perhaps the king would be willing to assist me?
What sort of help do you need?
I'm trying to find a worthy start. Which of her many qualities do you think I should treat first?
She did have many. But I would begin with her strength. She was a daughter of Ares, proud and fierce.
Very well. Let's see. A fire burned on Mycenae, fierce and strong and bright. A torch of courage, a flame of valor, a beacon in the night. That flame has since extinguished, but for those who saw its might. We call that fire Alcime. May we always praise her light. It's a start, at least. To honor her, much work must be done.
If you seek to honor all her virtues, you have a very long poem ahead of you. I leave you to your work.
An honor, sir. A torch of courage, a flame of valor, a beacon in the night.
This is where I first met Alcime.
When you were children?
Yes. Her father, King Lycomedes, left her in the care of my father while he was at war. 10 years she lived here.
Alcime, come back! She is willful, King Trion. You must watch her carefully.
She'll be safe here, Lycomedes.
Indeed. No one knows. Not even my advisors. Alcime!
Are you spying? Here, Father!
I see you've met young Jason.
King Lycomedes, sir.
Jason, a word of advice. I know my daughter. You're going to have to keep your wits about you.
Come, Hercules.
King Jason.
Elpis, I didn't know you were among the injured.
Oh, it was nothing. I'm recovered, mostly. It's just my poor parents.
What do you mean?
My parents don't know what happened to me, nor do I want them to. They're old and in ill health. Why let them worry? Could you tell them I'm well? That I've just been too busy to see them?
Of course. Why burden them?
I knew you'd understand.
Rest now, Elpis. I'll speak to your parents.
What a view! You can see for miles here.
Your father was a great man. I am sorry, Jason.
He's with my mother now. In Elysium. He lived a life of honor.
My father was very upset when he heard the news. Said that Greece had lost a great king. I agree with him, but I also think Greece has gained a great king. You outrank me now, King Jason. I don't know if I like it.
Alcime, marry me.
What?
Be my queen, and be my equal. Forever. Marry me, Alcime.
Yes, Jason. With all my heart. Yes.
I will find a way. Come.
Hail, King Jason.
Captain Idas, how are you feeling?
Better, my king. My pride was injured more than anything. Was a time those Ionian dogs wouldn't have had a chance.
You fought bravely, my friend. The odds were great.
I've got 3 things for your attention, Jason. First, we have the results from our investigation of the attack. Second, I've just received a report of a disturbance in the village. And lastly, there's a private matter I would discuss with you.
Let's hear the investigation report.
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's the disturbing part?
The assassin bore all the markings of a Black Tongue. His dress, his weapons, his tattoos, and of course, his marksmanship. Jason, I went to that balcony. There's not a bowman in Greece who could have made that shot.
Disturbing indeed. And the disappointing part?
We still don't know why he came. The Ionians? That's easy. They're mercenaries. They came for plunder. But why Alcime was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
Idas, what do you know of the Black Tongues?
Just the common rumors, really. They're a cult that worships the dark titaness Hecate. Like the Ionians, they place the old gods above Olympus. For centuries, the Black Tongues were the most feared assassins in Greece. I don't know if you remember, but when you were a boy, Alcime's father, King Lycomedes, waged a war against the cult. Until this attack, everyone thought he had eradicated them.
Apparently not. The Ionians. Are we sure they were nothing more than hired mercenaries?
As far as we can tell. We traced this particular band back to Ithaca. They were there about a month ago to reprovision. Our sources say they spoke there of a new job they'd just been hired for. A well-paying job.
What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on Iolcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
What is this private matter, Idis? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well... It's time for me to step down, Jason. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in Iolcus, you've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
I trust your judgment, Idis. You know the men better than anyone. Make your choice, and I'll approve it.
As you wish. I've already called for the men. Ah, here they are now. Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon. You men all fought with distinction and have served Iolcus well. But only one of you may be called to serve as captain. Lieutenant Ivarius, step forward.
Yes, sir.
Iolcus calls you to duty. Will you captain her guard?
With all my heart, sir.
Ivarius, I know you to be a good soldier and an honest man. Follow Idis for a month's time, and then call yourself captain. May you always be first in battle, and last to stand in our defense.
I am honored, sir.
Dismissed.
I thank you, Jason. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. To be safe, let's keep the watch doubled, Idis.
As you say, Jason.
Here did Iolcum, favored of Zeus, defeat the giant Typhor to claim these lands. Iolcum vowed that he and his descendants would forever honor Zeus and protect his sacred island. And so was founded the Kingdom of Iolcus.
So young.
The sacrifices of those who died in defense of this land will never be forgotten. Be proud of your men and women, your sons and daughters, your kin. They honored their vows. May we give as much to honor our own.
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Again, Jason. Watch your form. Should I have Alcime show you?
Alcime? I'll do it.
He forgets I'm a daughter of Ares, Captain Idas.
How can I, when you so often remind me?
I think he's distracted. I wonder what's got his attention.
Perhaps he'll tell us.
All this talking, that's what.
Welcome, King Jason. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer, but I have some knowledge of the stars and their influence on men.
What of Apollo's virtues? Do they have an effect on your work?
Nobility of purpose, a studious and open mind, compassion. These are the virtues I strive to uphold. There is a reason good men ask Apollo to bless their shields. He favors those whose purpose is true and who fight only to defend what's noble and right.
And besides prophecy, why else do you follow Apollo?
Oh, Apollo rules over much more than that. He is the sun god, he who commands the sun. Civilization, music, and order, all of these are noble things.
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would allow my friend to spend only what was needed to acquire the medicine. Then, I would anonymously return the rest.
Here I sense the stars of the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor, in your response. Of what shall we speak of next?
Duty to king and country. Let us speak of that.
You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
I would cross the border and kill the enemy, then drag him back across to my side. I could then report that he had broken the treaty and have proof.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Centaurus, the centaur. Of what shall we speak of next?
Let's discuss the bonds of family.
2 suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
I would give my blessing to whomever my daughter chooses as her husband. I would trust in her judgment and support her happiness.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor. Now, we have only the matter of society to discuss. You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
I'd recognize that I benefit at his expense. He serves as a buffer between my sheep and the wolves. I would suggest that we work together to solve the problem.
I feel the sway of the constellation Libra, the scales, in your answer.
So, Pandora, what fortune do you read in my responses?
You consider duty as a guideline. Rules and regulations are not as important as the principles behind them. In society, the common good is the highest goal. You believe people should work together to solve their collective problems. Friends should help each other. If your friend should stray from virtue, you believe it's your obligation to bring him back. You would honor your family, and yet you would treat a stranger with equal respect and hospitality. Your dominant constellation is Pygmalion, the sculptor. Wherever your path leads, you will walk nobly, and you will learn from your journey. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you. I must be going, Pandora. Be well.
Apollo bless you.
Mercenaries, bring shame upon you! Your guests lie murdered! My brother is dead! Where is your king? Where is your cherished lord? Look who finally decides to grace us with his presence! King Jason himself! It only took you all day!
You are welcome on Iolcus, Zeno. What can I do for you?
You can spare me your honeyed words for a start! I didn't come all this way from Thessaloniki for your hospitality. My brother already suffered that fate.
I am sorry for Anders' loss. May he find his way to Elysium.
Not good enough! No, not by a long way, King of Iolcus. Be compensation, tribute! Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Iolcans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessalonian. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home. And with it, my ship will be full of Iolcan wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me. Never! No. This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
Is that all? Perhaps you'd like land as well. My palace there on the hill, would that suffice?
It probably wouldn't. You mock me? I should have expected no less from you. I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demand, then my men and I will take our own revenge.
If you disgrace your brother's memory with this display.
The lure of tribute brought him here. He doesn't care about his brother's memory.
Do I not? You will see how much his honor means to me. Consider yourself challenged, Warden.
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. When you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No! Do it!
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake.
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Zeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jason of Iolcus dies today! Kill them! Finish it, you Iolcan dog!
Take your brother home, Zeno.
I won't forget this, Jason.
Leave the mace.
What?
Your stake. Do you forget?
Bah! A curse on Iolcus!
It is a fine mace. Do you think it really was blessed by Poseidon?
Who knows?
One thing's certain. It'll see more honor with you than that fool.
Be careful, King Jason. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch?
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
And what's she look like?
Strange. Foreign-like. No Iolcan woman would wear the dress she's wearing, I'll say that.
And she's got these markings, tattoos and such all over. Legs and feet and arms and face.
Dark hair, piercing eyes. Clean her up a bit. She could be passably fair, I suppose.
Why, you dirty old goat! That's enough of you.
Yanula, please. I'm just trying to give the king a good description.
Did she say what her purpose was?
We asked that. She said, wolves always hunt in packs. Thought that a strange reply myself.
Mostly, she was just pressing. Almost brought my wife to tears. She's keen on it, I tell you. Intense. Like she's got urgent business.
Where is she now? Did you see her leave?
That we did. That Zeno man was yelling up a storm, and I saw her slink off.
It was real strange. She had her ears perked, like she was listening for something. Then, all of a sudden, she pricks up, and she was off like a bolt toward the Crypt of Kings.
I heard her say under her breath, "I've got you now," as she ran off. I swear on Olympus.
Thank you. I'll find her and see what she's up to. Here, Diaphanes, renowned architect, was shown by Apollo the temple and palace he was to build. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given. And thus the palace of the kings of Iolcus was built to honor the vision he had been given.
Look, Heroes, it's the king.
What could he be doing here?
Oh no, please, no! Help us! Is she...
Elpis is fine. With all the chaos, she's been too busy to send word.
Oh, praise Zeus.
We've been so worried. You've lifted a great burden from us, sir.
Before I set sail, I'll leave instructions for her to come visit you. Here was born Amphinome, wife of King Trion. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king. And so she became queen of Iolcus. My mother. A fine queen indeed.
Thank you for dealing with that obnoxious man. The nerve to demand such tribute.
He was nothing like his brother. Let us mourn for Menander.
That we can do. There's been a lot of mourning here of late.
Our neighbor Agathe lost her husband in the attack. He was a servant in the palace. Poor Agathe and her son Sinon. That boy's taking it very hard.
Let's talk about this witch you saw with...
Something strange about her.
All those questions about the assassin.
Fair. Here landed King Trion's spear, humbling the Athenian Polysede. Drunk from the king's feast, the famed warrior boasted that no yoken man could match his throw. For the honor of his kingdom, King Trion took up his challenge. Great Athena lent Trion her skill, and he unleashed a throw so mighty that boastful Polysede was stricken mute with shame.
I can do a cartwheel. You want to see? Maybe later.
Be good, Zarya.
Thank you, Jason.
Keep him out of trouble, Cipriana.
Keep him fed, Cipriana. Jason.
Idis, how is village life suiting you?
It's only been a few minutes, but so far I think I can get used to it.
Get used to it? Is it that difficult?
It's Elysium, Cipri. There, happy?
I'll leave you two to your business. Come, children.
So, what are you going to do without the guard?
Farm.
Farm? Farm what?
Grapes or barley. Haven't decided yet. Barley practically grows itself, so I'd have more time to fish or hunt or just sit with my children. But grapes, now there's a challenge that could keep me occupied. Give me something to do with myself.
You deserve to rest, Idis. Plant the barley. I'll see that grapes are sent to you.
As my king commands, barley it is. Been a while since I've gone fishing. I hear you're leaving, Jason. Heading for Delphi.
I'm going to bring her back, Idis.
I pray you do. Here, Jason. I've given this a great deal of thought, and... my sword. I want you to have it.
Growing up, training, I used to marvel at this sword.
I know you did. But remember, weapons are only as good as the men who wield them. This one, it's a good sword, and it served me well. But with you, I think it can become a great sword.
I am honored, my friend.
I was raised in a village like this, a long time ago.
Here lies the Crypt of Kings, the final resting place of the royal family of Iolcus. In this crypt are kings and queens, wardens and champions of Zeus. May their honor live forever.
Live on your many Babawiai!
The great Medea, how far the mighty have fallen. Your power has grown feeble.
Has it? I Bethena Mono Ilai. Forgive me. I lost myself again.
Are you all right?
I am weak, but it will pass.
That Black Tongue called you Medea. I assume that's your name?
It is.
It's time for answers, Medea.
Then ask your questions, Jason.
Who was that man you killed?
His name was Siklos. Typical Black Tongue. Cruel, devious, and fanatical. When I heard of the attack here, I came as quickly as I could. Their assassins never work alone.
How would you know that?
You see the markings I still bear. Are they not answer enough? In another life, I was one of them. Until I realized the powers I gained came with a terrible price.
Your sorcery nearly killed all of us. Do you have no control over it?
There was a time no follower of Hecate could hope to match me. Now when I call upon the full might of my powers, it threatens to overwhelm me.
Medea, do you know why the Black Tongues targeted my wife?
I don't know why, but I know this is not their first attempt. They tried before when she was a babe on Mycenae.
What?
When your wife was born, King Lycomedes traveled to Delphi and spoke to the Oracle Pelagia. Whatever he was told, it got the Black Tongue's attention. Assassins were dispatched to both Mycenae and Delphi. Lycomedes thwarted the attempt on your wife, and the assassin Lysander failed to eliminate the Oracle Pelagia. It's said he fell in love with her, and together they fled, never to be seen again.
So that's why Lycomedes waged his war.
Yes. His name was cursed by every Black Tongue in Greece.
Medea, I seek to restore my wife. The Black Tongues are at the heart of what's happened here. Your knowledge of them would be helpful. And in return, I offer you allies in your fight.
If you try to bring her back, the Black Tongues will flock to you like moths to a flame. There'd be no need to chase after them.
Go to my ship. Tell Argos to give you a room.
Jason, are you sure about this?
Your friend is right, Jason. I am not safe to be around. I sometimes lose myself, as you have seen.
You underestimate me.
No. It is you who underestimate me. Believe me, today was a good day. You don't want to see my bad days. There would have to be precautions taken.
Then we'll take them.
Very well, King of Iolcus. I will hunt with you and lend what aid I can. I will prepare the wards to secure your ship.
Far too much sorcery being cast about for my liking. Why did you ask her along, Jason? How can you trust her?
There are forces at work we know little about. Prophecies, Lycomedes, the Black Tongues. Knowledge I can hold on to as an advantage. Besides, you saw what she did to that assassin. This is the war armor of the kings of Iolcus. Last worn by my father, Trion. I have never had occasion to don this armor. I'd hoped I never would. But Iolcus needs me now. Her queen needs me. The journey ahead may be difficult. This piece of Iolcus will journey with me.
When the way ahead looks daunting, remember who you fight for. Iolcus is more than its fair fields and proud bluffs. It is mother to us all. We do not stumble over mountains, my son. We stumble over stones. Step safely over every stone, and you will cross the mountain.
Now, to see about our ship and Delphi. To the docks.
You ever wish for a normal life, Jason? Now that is a boat.
Sinon, listen to me. We have family in Thrace. We'll be welcome there.
We can't just leave. Iolcus is our home.
Your father is gone, Sinon. Our lives must continue.
But only on Thrace? No, Mother. Here is where my father is buried. Here is where I'll honor him.
Sinon! Forgive my lack of cheer, King Jason.
Are you Agathe, widow of the servant Thano? I have a message for you. Your husband's dying words. His message was simple. He loved you. Always. From the moment you met. He asked that you remember him as a loving husband and father, and hoped his son Sinon would live to honor him.
Thank you for telling me, King Jason.
If there's anything I can do.
My son and I have each other. Nothing else can help right now.
On this spot did King Iolcum slay the Phrygian war chief. Turning back the marauders, Iolcum defended the sacred sites of Zeus from harm. The Phrygians were scattered to the seas, never to threaten again.
That way is Mycenae. 3 weeks' voyage with the swift ship.
My father says you're to go home soon.
I miss Mycenae. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to leave.
Will you be back?
Someday.
Welcome.
Do I speak with Mnason, father of Timaeus?
Aye, and Pathros too.
It is only Pathros now. Your son Timaeus is dead.
Dead?
He lost his life in my defense.
I see.
Your son had recently been chosen as our standard bearer. Did the guard deliver his spear? The spear upon which is borne the Yolkin standard?
Aye, it was sent down. Thought I was meant to hold it for Timaeus. My son, he was... Since he was a boy, it was the guard this, the guard that. All he ever wanted was to serve you. Though he no longer lives, that spear may still serve. Please, keep it in his name.
In Timaeus' name, I accept this spear. And let he receive the glory of the work it does.
You do my family honor. Should you see Pathros again, tell him I know he did all he could.
I'll see that Pathros comes to visit you himself.
Greetings, King Jason. I am the Dr. Nestus. May Athena's 5 virtues be with you always.
Do you follow the Virgin Goddess?
Aye, sir. I make my devotions to Athena. I find her principles help me lead an ordered and disciplined life. That comes in handy when you oversee the motley pack that works these docks.
You mentioned the 5 virtues of Athena. What are they?
Wisdom, justice, courage, discipline, and humility. These are the 5 virtues of a worthy life. I strive each day to achieve these qualities. Some days are harder than others.
Athena's wisdom must prove a help when dealing with old Argos.
That it does. But that's not the only province of Athena's rule that I take interest in. Athena is the goddess of justice. In the village, I hear petitions too trivial for your attention. She is also the goddess of crafts, strategy, and military war. All worthy disciplines. Truly, the domains of my goddess form the core of good society.
You work for Argos?
Yes, sir. I manage the docks and help out with riggings and sails, mainly. I did some work on that pulley system he's put aboard your ship.
Is Argos about?
He's aboard, sir, tending to some final preparations. He mentioned if I saw you to let you know he's ready for your inspection. I can row you out there if you wish.
Thank you, Nestus.
Jason, how are you? My heart broke when I heard what happened. This ship was to be a wedding gift. Now it's something else, I suppose.
Perhaps it still will be, Argos. Is she ready to sail?
Aye, she's girded and fit for open waters.
Good. I have her maiden destination. Delphi.
Delphi? What in Hades do you want to go there for?
I have questions that need answers. Answers I can only find on Delphi.
Argos, do you know the way?
I've sailed most every patch of sea in Greece, but I've never seen the shores of Delphi. Part of me thinks it's just a myth.
There are tales of heroes who've been there.
Aye, and each claims it's in a different place. I'm sorry, Jason. I can't steer you there.
Elias said he would look into it. We should check back with him.
Now what about this Medea woman? She says you told her to come aboard. Nearly scared me half to death. She just walked up behind me in the deck house. No rowboat, no nothing.
It's all right. She'll be coming with us to Delphi.
It's your ship, but you need to see what she's done to her quarters below decks.
Very well, Argos. I will.
It's, irregular.
This ship's a sight to see. Let's have the tour.
Certainly. We can start right here. Now, you've already seen her size. She's the biggest ship I've ever made. She's also the fastest, mind you, but we'll get to that. The hull is soft fir wood, light and strong, and resin-coated to keep out the sea. I've made a few modifications to the classic structure to make room for the rowing apparatus, but we've kept a shallow draft in case she needs to be beached for repairs. I told you before, this ship can row itself. Come, I'll show you how. Here, Jason. Take a look down here and tell me what you see.
Ropes, pulleys, oars. I've never seen anything like it.
Of course you haven't. No one has. A ship that can row itself. One man, me, to take the place of 200 hunchbacked oarsmen.
How does it work?
It's taken me half a century to answer that question. More time than we have. Come, I'll show you the deck house. If the ore deck is the heart of this ship, then this room is the head. As long as we have a clear view of the stars, we'll never be lost. I can assign destinations to the various constellations, and this ship will remember how to sail there. And once we've set a destination, the ship will maintain our course without a steersman.
Amazing.
Indeed. Now, let's go below. You'll find no cramped bunks down here. With the automated oars, we have space to live comfortably. Spacious cabins with room enough for all. Here, there's a chamber to store all your equipment. At the prow end. Well, come, I'll show you. Never had a shrine like this on a ship before. But, as you requested, here it is.
What you've done is wondrous, Argos. I've never seen a finer ship. She has no rival in all of Greece.
I would not boast, but I wouldn't argue with you either. Everything I've ever learned about sailing on the seas, I've put into this ship. There's one thing I'd ask of you in return.
Name it.
Let me sail her for you. I know this ship better than anyone.
Need you have asked, Argos? There's no one else I'd rather have steering this vessel.
Thank you, my king.
One more thing. It's only right that you be forever remembered with your masterpiece. So let it bear your name. I hereby name this ship the Argo. Long may she sail the seas.
Jason, you do me too much honor.
You've earned it, Argos.
Thank you, Jason. Now, I'll leave you to have a look around yourself. I'll be above decks if you need me.
I have finished the runes of warding.
So I see.
They are attuned to you, Jason. Only you can remove them. As long as they remain active, neither I nor my powers can leave this room. However, I can still prove harmful to anything inside these walls.
How did you come to be a Blacktongue?
My father was King Aedes of Colchis. He had no time for daughters, so I was often left to myself. One day, when I was 12, my father decided he would marry me to a neighboring king. My suitor was nearly 60. On our wedding night, I murdered him when he came to my bed. Then I ran. For years, I lived alone, but I vowed never again to be powerless. The Blacktongues found me, and at the time, what they offered was intoxicating.
Power can be that way.
Eventually, I realized there was a price to all things. I had thought I was gaining power, but I was being made a thrall. I was that 12-year-old girl all over again. But this time, it was a titan slipping into my bed. It comes and goes in waves. Perhaps we could speak more later.
Of course. I'd like to know more about the Black Tongues.
Such as?
Tell me about how the group is organized.
The Black Tongues are ruled by the secretive Council of Ravens, each of whom is a formidable sorcerer. The exact number of ravens is unknown. They decide the actions of the group and communicate those orders to their subordinates. The lower ranks remain ever ready should a mission be given to them. The Black Tongues seek their recruits from the farthest corners of the world, promising paradise in Tartarus. Their agents live in secrecy, and they can strike anywhere at a moment's notice.
What motivates the Black Tongues? What do they believe in?
They worship the Titaness Hecate, the dark witch goddess of sorcery and deceit. They refuse to acknowledge the supremacy of the Olympian gods and seek to overthrow them. Through rituals of pain and sacrifice, her followers yield their very spirits to Hecate in exchange for sorcerous powers. They believe that one day Hecate will gain supremacy over both the living world and the underworld. Until then, they obey orders fanatically, believing that they will find a paradise in Tartarus should they die.
How did the Black Tongues come to be?
Long ago, the Black Tongues carved a path of blood to become the best assassins in Greece. They have spent ages cultivating the arts of poison, stealth, and sorcery. Their numbers are small, and they prefer it that way. Secrecy is what has allowed them to survive for so long. Even Lycomedes himself was unsuccessful when he tried to stamp them out many years ago. They simply receded into the shadows until the danger passed.
The Black Tongues wield strange sorcery. You're proof of that. What are they capable of?
Hecate's dark powers are formidable. They are nearly all destructive in nature. The Black Tongues use tattoos, blood magic, and rune glyphs to channel Hecate's power. Advanced assassins can even summon monstrous creatures, like the one you saw in the crypt. However, this requires a sacrifice of blood, and so this power is reserved for only the most urgent of missions.
I hope you're comfortable here. Let me know if you need anything.
I will.
So, you see what that woman did down there?
It's all right, Argos. It's for our protection.
It's your ship.
Keep the ship ready. We'll go see if Pelaius has learned how to get to Delphi.
She's girded and fit to sail. Once we know how to get to our destination, that is.
Keep the ship ready.
That boat will turn heads in every port from here to Athens.
says I can't?
Hail, sir.
Hail, sir.
Don't bother the warden. Don't mind him, sir. He's just some fool kid.
It's no bother. What's your name?
Sinon. Reporting for duty, sir.
Excuse me?
I'm here to join the guard, sir. You must need replacements after the attack. I'm ready to serve.
How old are you?
Old enough to wield a sword and shield.
But not yet a razor, it would seem.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, Sinon. Come back in a year or two.
King Jason, I beg you. My father was one of your servants. He died in the attack. Now my mother wants to leave for Thrace. I won't do it. Let me fight for you. Let me avenge my father.
You have ambition, Sinon. I like that. But the road to the guard is a long one. I'll put in a word with Captain Idas that you be trained as an apprentice.
An apprentice? But I want to join the guard. I want to honor my father.
All new recruits first serve as apprentices. There's much you can learn by polishing armor and sharpening blades.
You only say that because I'm young. You're making a mistake. One day I'll be the best warrior on all of Iolcus. You'll see.
Strange lad.
Insolent, too.
He means well, I'm sure. Come, Hercules.
Jason, will you hear the petitions before the court?
Yes. Call for the next petition.
King Jason will now hear petitions. The court recognizes the Honorable Mecistus, emissary of King Lycomedes of Mycenae.
Mecistus, I hear you'll be leaving for Mycenae shortly.
Indeed. I will return with difficult news. The king's daughter, murdered on her wedding day. What message would you have me give King Lycomedes on your behalf?
Tell him that I plan to bring Alcimé back. I will go to Delphi and find a way.
A noble goal. But there is a fine line between hope and delusion, King Jason. Such a journey could take years, with no certainty of success.
Only the Oracle at Delphi could have the answer. It's our only hope.
King Lycomedes has a saying that has served him well. Hope in one hand, and spit in the other. And let me know which fills up first.
Jason, will you hear another petition?
Yes. Call for the next petition.
The court recognizes the guardsman, Orestes.
Hail, sir. We've been holding a handful of Ionian prisoners pending your orders.
Have they been questioned?
Yes. Captain Idas says they've said all they have to say.
How many?
5, sir. One's a captain, or whatever their equivalent is called. What should we do with them, sir?
Take them on a ship out to sea. When you're a day out, put them on a shore boat. Give them enough food and water for a week. No weapons or armor. They can row back to Ionia. We'll leave the rest in the hands of their gods.
It will be done, sir.
Jason, will you hear another petition?
Yes. Call for the next petition.
The court recognizes Katya, a farmer's daughter.
Sire, I appear before you to beseech your favor.
What is it you would ask of me?
Allow me to give last rites to the dead Ionians and the assassin. No one has yet done this. If they were evil men, Hades will judge them. But to deny last rites is to deny the will of the gods.
Is it?
I believe it is our duty to see that all the dead are sent to Hades, regardless of what they did in this life.
I was taught as much myself. But there are exceptions to every rule.
Will you let me, sir? I will perform the rites myself.
These dead will not be given last rites. I will not disgrace the House of Hades by sending him such guests. Let their spirits cry out for rest, and let their gods answer them if they choose.
You are my king, and I cannot go against your word. But I do not believe this is right.
Your bravery is noted, Katya. But my decision stands.
Jason, will you hear another petition?
Yes. Call for the next petition.
The court recognizes Philo, a shepherd.
King Jason, a black lamb has been born to my flock. As is custom, I've come to ask your blessing before the animal is sacrificed to Zeus.
A black sheep is quite an omen.
The animal will not be sacrificed to Zeus.
But Jason...
Let it be sacrificed to another god. Apollo, Ares, Athena, Hermes. Choose one of them.
I cannot make such a choice, sir.
Pelias, surely the other gods would look favorably upon such a rare sacrifice.
The lamb is an omen of change, so consider what course you see before you. A sacrifice to Ares would increase your chance of victory over your enemies. If you want wisdom on your path ahead, then propitiate Athena. Honor Apollo, if you desire peace for your heart and your kingdom. If you know not what you seek, then choose Hermes, and may he bring you fortune no matter the path you take.
Let it be sacrificed to Apollo.
It will be done as you command.
Jason, will you hear another petition?
Yes. Call for the next petition.
The court recognizes Agatha, a shepherdess.
King Jason, it's my boy, Sinon. He's gone.
Sinon? Tell me what happened.
He came home so upset. Said you'd turned him away. Oh, I don't blame you for that. He's just a boy, and you were only thinking of his safety. I thought his mood would pass, but the next thing I see, he's running off with his things. Shouted back he was going to seek his fortune on Mycenae. Mycenae!
I knew that boy had spirit. And for what it's worth, spirit can take a man a long way. Perhaps you sell your son short, Agatha.
Oh, Hera, help me! He'll be set upon by thieves! He'll be captured and made a galley slave!
Pelias, send some guards to help her look for Sinon.
As you say, King Jason.
He'll be eaten by wolves! He'll be drowned in a shipwreck! Oh, Hera, help me!
There are no further petitioners today, Jason. Jason, I found something.
The way to Delphi?
Perhaps. It's an old chart, crude and rough, but it does show an island marked only as Oracle's Rock. It lies far to the west.
To the west?
I've sent the chart down to Argos at the ship. At least it might offer a place to start your search.
Thank you, Uncle.
Jason, what of Iolcus? Your journey may take some time.
You can watch over her, Pelaius. I trust you.
My place is as an advisor, not a leader.
It won't be forever. Besides, you're more suited to hear petitions than anyone.
If this is truly your will, then I cannot say no. So be it, Jason. I live to serve.
I knew I could count on you. Now all that's left is to take my leave of Alcime in the mausoleum.
Medea should be aboard the ship by now.
Medea?
A former Blacktongue. She has agreed to journey with us. Her knowledge should prove valuable.
Jason, are you sure? Once a Blacktongue, always a Blacktongue.
I trust her. And she'll be watched. Don't worry.
Things have happened so fast. I see great deeds ahead of you, Jason. Do not worry about Iolcus. Anyone who would do her harm must come through me.
Must be propitiated. There's no doubt this is a sign of their anger. The gods must be propitiated. Yes, I've heard that one too. Prefer not to think.
Like I said, they're mad. But why come here? Seems such a remote place to attack.
Plunder.
But then why kill the princess?
You'd have a king like a me.
Your builders are skilled to have remade the temple so quickly.
The Temple of Iolcus. Within stand the great statues of Zeus and Hera. Defend Iolcus and praise Zeus. These are the oaths of all who dwell here. Gods of Olympus, I make to you this vow. I will not see Iolcus again until I have found a way to bring her back. Bless and guide me on the voyage to come. Protect Alcime, and watch over my kingdom until I return.
I think now would be a good time.
Who's there?
Jason, King of Iolcus, Warden of Zeus. I am Apollo.
Apollo?
Your patron gods support your purpose. I speak for myself and my fellow Olympians, Ares, Athena, and Hermes.
A great injustice has been done to you. To murder a bride during her wedding is a crime that defies all virtue.
And it was my descendant who was killed.
Alcime is a daughter of Ares. She must be avenged.
Your purpose is an unusual one. To restore the dead breaks rules both human and divine.
Come, Jason. We each would speak to you and grant you our blessings. Approach these statues so that we may speak further.
Ares, Lord of Battle, I thank you for your support.
Perhaps you can find a way to bring her back. Perhaps not. But there is one thing certain. The Blacktongues will stand against you. The only question a warrior ever need ask is, who is my enemy? Now that you know yours, put your mind to the battle ahead. I'll count every Blacktongue death a worthy offering.
And what of your boon, Ares? Have you nothing to offer Jason before his quest?
Boons. Unlike you, Athena, the Lord of Battle does not offer gifts. The Lord of Battle rewards the worthy.
I would think Jason's actions following the murder of his wife would have pleased even you.
Against Ionians, ha! Let him fight my own warriors. Then I'll judge his worthiness. Warden, to the west of your palace lies the cave of Amalthea. Long has it been sealed, and with it, the challenges that lie inside. Go there if you wish to earn my boon. A warrior who thinks long lives short. Trust your instincts, Warden.
Swift Hermes, thank you for your support.
Let us speak of the unknown, Jason. Let us speak of death, the greatest unknown there is. Your wife has not been given last rites. I cannot guide her to the underworld. In time, her body will return to the earth, and her spirit will lose its way. If she lingers long enough, she will be lost forever.
Then I must hurry.
You interest me, Jason. I admire how you embrace the impossible. Should you accomplish what you seek, all the rules will have changed. I will see that you're given a chance. I will watch over Alcime's spirit and protect her body for a time. Let that be my gift to you.
Hermes, thank you.
It won't last forever, Jason. Remember, sooner or later, all messages must be delivered. Strength wanes, beauty fades, only wit grows day by day.
Sun God, Apollo, I am grateful for your support.
Your purpose is a noble one, driven by a pure and true love. Never lose hope, Jason, even in the dark times that lie ahead. With hope in his heart, man can accomplish the impossible.
I travel first to Delphi, to consult with your oracle.
She will help you find your way.
We are not sure of the route. Can you tell me where Delphi lies?
Delphi cannot be found through any chart. Delphi only exists for those who truly need it. You already know the way to Delphi, Jason. When you set sail, steer where your heart tells you. If your resolve and your purpose are true, you will find what you seek.
Thank you, Apollo.
Remember, Jason, an open mind is infinitely more powerful than a closed fist.
Wise Athena, your support fills me with hope.
Your path to this point has been a virtuous one. But obstacles lie ahead that will challenge the very principles you hold dear. Take care that in saving your wife, you do not lose yourself.
I understand.
May your spear never be lost so long as your path is righteous. That is my gift to you.
I am honored.
Preparation is the spear whose point is victory. Do not forget.
You have spoken with each of your patron gods. May your deeds be honorable.
Your actions just.
Your battle valorous.
And your travels fraught with excitement.
We will be watching, Jason. Now, everything depends on you.
I've been thinking, Jason.
You and me both.
The road ahead may be long and difficult. What I mean to say is, I want to help.
You've already done more than I have a right to ask. Hercules of Thebes, I thank you. I am forever in your debt.
There's no debt between friends. I know you do the same for me.
We may have to check with Argos, see how much weight his ship can handle.
Very amusing.
I think they were sending a message to all of Greece. We must prepare for war.
Ione was not listening to the western conquest.
Coincidence, they chose the wedding day to attack. And why kill the king's bride?
The gods must be propitiated. There's no doubt this is a sign of their anger.
Here lies the entrance to the cave of Amalthea. Fearing the jealousy of Cronus, Rhea gave to Amalthea her infant son Zeus to hide and protect. In this hot refuge, Amalthea nurtured the newborn god. Safe from the sight of Cronus, the cries of Zeus were masked by the sounds of the moving rock and the searing flame. Glory to Amalthea, who saw that Zeus was safely raised until he could challenge his father Cronus. Here we are. The challenge of Ares awaits inside. What do you think, Hercules? That boulder too big for you?
What, that overgrown pebble? Nothing to it.
I must go alone.
Right. Then I'll wait for you here. Watch yourself in there.
inside your chest. So may your warrior's hardiness be as strong as the stones that surround us. My boon to you.
Thank you, Lord Ares.
One more thing. The one-time Black-tongued witch who now sits in your ship must be protected. Without her, you will have no hope of success.
What do you mean? Ares?
I take it you passed Ares' test.
If I hadn't, I would have never left the cavern.
Ah, Ares. Something different about you. You look healthier, stronger. What happened in there?
Ares gave me his boon. A warrior's health and hardiness.
Now that's a boon that should prove useful in the journey ahead.
May Athena's 5 virtues be with you.
Row us out to the ship, Nestus.
Of course, sir.
Jason, your uncle had a chart sent down.
What do you think, Argos? Look accurate?
It looks ancient is what it looks. If we follow it, we'll be going further west than anyone's ever sailed before.
Never mind the chart. I know the way.
All right. Then, I suppose we're ready to sail.
Set an eastern course. I'll tell you when we need to adjust.
But your uncle's chart indicates Delphi lies to the west.
East, Argos. Delphi lies to the east. I know it.
As you say, Jason.
The time has come. We make for Delphi, land of Apollo's oracle. To sea.
No warden has ever fallen in battle on Ylcan soil. Once we set sail, that protection will leave you. You may never again know the grace of Zeus.
that's the price to bring back Alcime, then I will pay it.
I understand. Well, Jason, this is how legends often start. Aboard a ship, heading out to sea. You should have brought a poet.
How quickly the prophecy has come to fruition.
Yes, Master Pelias. But what of your nephew? What if the Oracle shows him a way?
Let him search. Don't you see? He's left the island and taken that traitorous witch Medea with him. We could not have dreamed for better circumstance.
Master Pelias, you wish to speak with me?
Captain Idus, you have retired, I hear.
I am guiding my successor. When he is fit to assume command, I plan to step down. Yes.
Iolcus will miss your leadership, but there is one task more that she must ask of you. Despite your investigation, I still wonder if some of our own people didn't aid the assassin.
Impossible.
I pray that you're right. Nonetheless, redeploy all existing members of the Guard to the southern plains. We will establish a new and trustworthy force to secure the palace.
Sir, my men are loyal.
I did not ask for your opinion, Captain. The safety of Iolcus is my duty now. That is all.
Your bidding, Master.
Go, Skiav. Follow Jason to Delphi. Let us hear what the Oracle tells our young king.
It will be as you say.
have arrived at Delphi.
I will await your return. Remain alert. Oracles are not to be trusted.
Apollo himself knows. I will put my trust in him.
Even still, pay close attention to her words. Hidden truths will lurk behind every phrase. Oracles have their own agendas. Even Apollo's oracle. Remember that.
Still don't know how we made it through that mist. And don't know if I'd want to try again. I'll stay here with the Argo, and that woman down below.
Very few ever see these shores. Remember, Jason, what an oracle says and what an oracle means are not always the same thing.
Delphi, sacred isle of Apollo. The light of truth pierces the mist that clouds the minds of men.
Greetings!
A talking satyr.
Satyr, I am Jason, king of Iolcus. This is Hercules, the son of Zeus.
Is that right?
We've come to see the Oracle.
Well, that way leads to the Oracle. Eventually.
We thank you. Hercules?
I wish you good fortune in the caves ahead.
Why? Is there some reason we would need it?
Hold on, I'll take a look.
Hercules, wait! What exactly do you mean?
Hail, King Jason.
Lieutenant Platon? What are you doing on Delphi?
That's a question I put to you, sir. I speak for the people, your people, who wonder why you've left us. Why you've abandoned your kingdom and your duty.
What if there's another attack, and Iolcus is without its warden? How could you do this?
What king would I be if I ignored my oaths? I promised Alcime I was hers, in this life and the next. How could the people of Iolcus trust in my protection, if I cannot protect my own wife? The gods willing, I will not be away. Clayton? What is this place?
I see Jason, begat of Trion, who 50 years walked with the gods.
Jason, there you are. Lost you back there for a moment.
Why did you run off?
This place is strange. I'm seeing things.
Yes. I saw a guard from Iolcus.
I saw worse than that. Death. Destruction. I've seen that this voyage will be the last for some of those who join you. I'm with you until the end, Jason. But others who may stand with us, I worry too much will be asked of them. Are you willing to trade a life for Alcime's? A friend's life?
I won't hide the difficulty of what lies before us, or who stands in our way, to anyone. If they're still willing to help after they know the truth, I cannot refuse them. Hercules? Hercules!
I see Jason, king of Iolcus. Once more.
Alcime.
Jason, I'm so cold.
I will find a way to bring you back.
I'm alone in the dark, lost and adrift. Why have you denied me my final rights? Why have you left me to wander in the abyss? I am so afraid.
You are not Alcime. You're another trick of the cave. Alcime is strong, full of courage. She has the fiery blood of Ares in her veins. Begone, treacherous spirit. You may have stolen her image, but your words betray you.
I see Jason, father of... No, not a father. Not yet. Perhaps not ever.
The Cave of Doubts. The most difficult questions to answer are those left unasked. You cannot confront ignorance unless you first confront the truth.
You made it!
Hercules, is it really you?
After I ran in, I started seeing things. That's about when I realized rushing ahead wasn't the brightest idea. I turned back to find you, but there was only the cave and its tricks.
Tricks won't stop us now. Come.
You've overcome the Cave of Doubts. Well done. Many who come here seeking answers don't have the resolve to ask the questions.
Who are you, Satyr?
You may call me Pan. I am a friend of the Oracle. She is waiting for you ahead, just a little further.
Is Delphi your home, Pan?
Now and again. Live as long as I, and you accumulate many homes. This place serves when I'm feeling weary with the world. Someone always comes along who reignites the passion to journey out again. But now you should continue. The Oracle is expecting you.
Yes. Older than you think.
You're the Oracle?
How old are you? That's a bit unsettling.
Foolish question. I'm the Oracle.
How did you know what we were going to? Foolish question.
Oracle of Apollo. I am...
Jason. In fact, you are many Jasons. Each instant countless Jasons die, and countless are born anew. Does this Jason know what he seeks?
My wife, Alcime, restored to me alive again.
Restored to you. You think your thread entwined with hers forever?
Threads unravel. Threads entangle. Threads are cut.
You have not said what I seek is impossible. And by that, I infer there is a way. How?
The Golden Fleece.
The Fleece?
An artifact of untold power. Only the Fleece can undo death.
But the Fleece has been lost for centuries.
Do you know where it is? How can I find it?
Search under every stone upon the earth. You will not find it.
Then how?
You will need a guide.
3 guides.
Each a vessel of divine blood.
Do you mean to say these guides are the descendants of the gods?
The blood of 3 holds the key.
Athena, Hermes, Ares. Seek out their bloodlines.
Bring one descendant from each of these gods here to Delphi. Then, the way to the Fleece will be made known to you. But will that be an answer?
Or just another question?
Wait! Who are these descendants? Where do I find them?
Come now, aren't you being a little hard on them? Even if they knew where to look, the task ahead is nigh impossible. She's coming around to it. Give her a moment.
How can you tell?
3 islands you must visit. Mycenae, proud land of Ares, where a city hungers to see vengeance in its fierce arena. Saria, wild domain of Hermes, where both predators and mysteries lurk deep within the jungle. Kythra, lost island of Athena, where the echoes of a distant past haunt both swamp and temple.
Mycenae, Saria, Kythra. There your destiny will be forged.
Can you tell me more of these places?
Revealing too much may alter the course of events.
So may revealing too little.
Choose one of your destinations, and we will grant you one last gift of insight.
Tell me more of Mycenae.
The man with the hammer will help you. You may trust him. But do not trust the man who watches. In the last moment, an ally will appear. I suppose this means you will be leaving us, Pan.
I believe Jason's quest will be an epic tale, filled with great deeds and worthy heroes. Perhaps I too may have a part to play.
You're coming with us?
If you'll have me.
Pan will speak for us on your journey. He will prove useful to you.
I do not doubt that. Welcome aboard the Argo, Pan.
The Argo. Jason and the Argonauts. There's a fine title for a tale.
It's time we leave. To the ship!
We have said all we choose to say.
For now.
The Oracle of Apollo, the beacon of vigilance to light the way. Be you a mirror to reflect that light, and you will be blessed in the eyes of the Sun Lord. I know of Mycenae. It is a land of Ares, and the homeland of my wife. King Lycomedes is the one I seek there. He is of Ares blood.
Lycomedes is not the understanding type.
What of Saria and Kithra? Do you know them, Pan?
Saria is a wild jungle land, isolated and far removed. I know only that there are satyrs there. As for Kithra, I have been there before, long ago.
I hear it's a cursed island.
Well, it wasn't always so. In fact, it was once home to the Golden Fleece. But now, it's said no living thing calls Kithra home.
We'll find out for ourselves the truth of all these places. Come. The Argo awaits. At last, we have our purpose.
I have been thinking on what you told me of the Oracle's message.
Any insights?
No. I still cannot fathom why blood of the gods is needed. The Oracle didn't tell you everything she knows. I'm sure of it.
She said enough to start us on our journey.
Yes, a journey without a clear destination. I will meditate more on this. Yes, I am trying to meditate.
I hope you're comfortable here.
I've heard many tales of your great deeds, Hercules. Perhaps I could hear them again, directly from the man who did them.
I'm no poet, Pan. I'm sure what you've heard already is better said than anything I can muster.
Ah, my friend, not so. A man can always tell his own story better than anyone can tell it for him. A poet's imagination is a pleasant substitute for what he doesn't know. But when you tell your own tale, you know everything.
Hadn't thought of it that way.
I would rather a mute communicate his experience than hear a practiced bard guess on his behalf.
All right then, we'll swap tales over dinner. I'm sure you have a few of your own. It is a strange path we find ourselves on.
Strange even for you, slayer of the Lernaean Hydra and the Lion of Nemea?
Yes, even still.
Captor of the Cernaean Hind and the Erymanthian Boar?
Very funny.
Master thief of the mares of Diomedes and the apples of the Hesperides.
Are you finished?
How many is that? 6? I'm only halfway through your labors.
Just you wait. My labors are gonna look like scullery chores by the time we're through. I'll leave our destination to you. Perhaps I'll catch up on some sleep.
Ah, life at sea. I was just beginning to miss it. You came at a good time, Jason.
It is customary for the captain to know the passengers on his ship. Tell me something of yourself, Pan.
We have a long voyage ahead of us, but even still, I doubt there'd be enough time to tell you everything. Let's just say I was born long ago and far away, and since then, I've traveled farther still.
They say satyrs choose how long they live. Do you still count your years?
Oh, I lost count long ago. I count by centuries now. I've at least one of those for each of my fingers.
How is that possible?
The world is a better place with mysteries in it, I think. Suffice to say, I still feel young at heart, particularly when surrounded by good company. I've been feeling quite spry since coming aboard, I must say.
How do you know the Oracle?
Oh, I've been friends with many oracles. The current one is quite new and yet quite promising. Most men find her speech unsettling, but I find it an invigorating web of meanings. We keep each other company now and then, that's all. Delphi is a great place to meet interesting people. The Oracle has such fascinating visitors.
Make yourself comfortable, Pan.
Ah, life at sea. I was just beginning to miss it. You came at a good time.
Make...
The route to Mycenae is well known to me. It is a major port, after all. Saria is just a small dot on the map, isolated and out of the way. Kithra appears only on the oldest charts. No one sails there anymore. They say it's haunted. Have you decided on our destination, Jason?
Chart a course for Mycenae. We'll speak with the bloodline of Ares first. King Lycomedes.
As you say.
Our plan is already in motion. We neutralize our target, and Jason's quest will be at an end. Go. Make sure our arrangements are in order, and kill the traitor once he's served his purpose.
Have you thought why King Lycomedes did not tell you of the prophecy he received? It is because, after 10 years of hunting black tongues, he thought he'd eliminated the danger. When he could find no more, he believed the threat to his daughter was over.
Clearly, it wasn't.
The black tongues live by deceit and cunning. For every one you find, there are 10 more you would never suspect. Remember, Jason, there is not a place where men dwell that the black tongues do not have a presence. Even here. It is difficult to hide in an open plain. It is easy to hide in a crowded city.
I'll keep her safe here while you're ashore. At some point, though, I need to get ashore myself to restock provisions. The locals seem none too friendly toward us. Watch yourself.
You play well, Pan.
Thank you. I've had many years to practice.
I've never seen pipes like those.
Ah, yes. My syrinx. I named them after a beautiful nymph I once knew.
Where is she now?
Here, in the music that I play. You see, I loved her very dearly, but that love was not returned. One day I went to speak with her, to tell her that I would no longer visit if she found my company unpleasant.
And what did she say?
Alas, I'll never know. Fearing I had come to woo her yet again, she ran from me. In her haste, she fell into a river and was drowned. The river nymphs took pity on her and transformed her into river reeds. I used them to make these pipes.
A sad tale, Pan.
Love is a powerful thing, my friend, but it does not always lead to happy endings.
I worry how King Lycomedes will welcome you. Have you thought of what you'll say to him?
I won't prepare any speeches. I'll judge his temper and speak from the heart.
I was there, and fault. But truth travels like a fasting pilgrim. It loses much of itself along the way. I'm afraid you will find few friends here, Jason.
Let's hope that Lycomedes, if not a friend, is at least not an enemy.
The people here seem eager to meet us. That might not be a good thing.
Have you heard of the Achnisi, Jason?
Some sort of fire spirit.
Yes, a type of salamander, in fact. They appear as tongues of flame amidst the masts and rigging of ships. They were with us last night.
An auspicious sign, I've heard.
I would say doubly so, given this island is aligned with Ares, whose symbol is a fiery torch. I take it to mean that we were right to come here, that we'll find favor with Ares on Mycenae.
Your sight is much sharper than my own when it comes to signs, Pan. I do know this, though. We're not leaving Mycenae without King Lycomedes on board.
Such confidence makes me think I have a future as a minor oracle. After all, learning to see the signs around us is the one sight that grows sharper with age. Mycenae is a land of Ares. The people here are proud and fierce.
Pan, you speak for the Oracle. What can you tell me of Apollo?
I can tell you that your deeds have pleased him. Indeed, I dare say the sun shines brighter for you than for others, Jason.
And what powers does Apollo grant his champions?
The power of light as a weapon or a shield. Gifts of clarity and insight, or healing to recover from wounds.
Tell me of Apollo's healing power.
The power to heal is both mortal and divine. It is a creative force. In mortals, the art of healing depends upon the compendium of collective human knowledge. Apollo, whose understanding is perfect, heals perfectly, instantly. Apollo's healing power is a great boon indeed. Call upon him, and his light will heal you, Jason.
Tell me of Apollo's armor.
Armed with a noble purpose, the champion of Apollo stands as a golden paragon upon the field of battle. No strike can bend him from that purpose. No force of arms can divert his focused will. The blade cuts shallow against him. The blow strikes softer. Apollo may help you shine in this way. Call upon him and be bathed in his radiance.
Tell me of Apollo's shield.
The sun itself is Apollo's shield, and it can be yours as well. Now, the sun nourishes, the sun restores, it feeds the crops and the trees, it warms the body and soothes the mind. But the sun also destroys. It withers the fields and bakes the earth. Apollo commands the sun, does he not? And so his champions also nourish and also destroy. When destruction is your purpose, call upon him and let the fury of the sun infuse your shield. Any foolish enough to strike you will feel its power.
Speak to me of Apollo's light.
What force is stronger than the sun? The god of light. Ask to see his light. The god of sun, ask that he shine upon you. His champions need only ask, and he will give to them his divine light, such as you have never seen. And those who stand against them will be burned and blinded by its brilliance.
Tell me of the aspects of Apollo.
Apollo is the god of healing. Through his aspects, your prayers and appeals can be more swiftly delivered.
Pan, you spend more time with the Oracle than anyone. What can you tell me of her?
Let's see. I'll tell you the tale of how she became the Oracle. I asked her that once, and this is what she said. It was because I asked an answer.
How's that?
After the Oracle Pelagia ran off with her would-be assassin, the current Oracle was drawn to Delphi. But she did not have a question. No, she had an answer. And she did not seek an answer. She sought a question. Would she become the next Oracle?
So her answer was yes.
No. Her answer was the reflection of moonlight on sea foam.
I don't follow.
Neither do I. I suppose that's why neither of us is the Oracle.
That's all for now, Pan. Thank you.
King Jason!
Sinon, what are you doing here?
Shh! Keep quiet. Find some place to hide. They blame you for what happened to Princess Alcime. They say King Lycomedes is going to kill you.
You can't believe everything you hear, Sinon. Now just what are you doing here?
I came to fight in the arena. To prove myself. To show you. Show everyone. I can be a guardsman.
You walk into that arena, and they'll drag you out. Have you actually seen what goes on in there?
Yes. Well, no. I've heard the cheers from outside the walls. It's all very exciting.
Promise me you'll watch a match before you decide.
Scout my competition. Very cunning. As you say, King Jason.
Good. Until then, there's always a hot meal waiting for you on my ship.
careful, King Jason. People here aren't like they are back on Yolkus.
So much for the warm welcome.
Are there no men here with the brawn to fight?
Only cargo past this point.
In the arena, you'll be famous!
Or dead?
Out of our way!
Ionians. What? No one wants to fight? Heard the men of Mycenae were warriors. Apparently not. Mark Ionia on your roster, slave.
Hey, look!
Well, 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 the Yolkin King.
And the nameless Ionian mercenary.
Not here to sign up for the arena? No, of course not. That would require courage. We hear you have a problem protecting your women, little king.
You should send them to Ionia. We'll keep them safe for you.
And busy, eh?
Where's your laughter now?
You dared!
What do you wait for? Need coin to fight? Come, I've enough to pay you.
Enough! Ionians, test our laws at your peril. And as for you, the king expects you at his palace, without delay. No one lays a finger on this one until King Lycomedes is through with him. No one.
Go and see your fellow king, an old man and an honorless whelp, the pride of Greece.
What sword's too good
for you.
I'll give it to you for free!
Taking it from your corpse.
Midas himself couldn't pay me to fight Achilles.
Oh, desperate youths and foolish dreams. What glory to the nameless dead.
I'd love to sign you up for the arena. Royalty always draws big crowds. But King Lycomedes would have my hide if you were harmed. Before he dealt with you, that is. The man of Mycenae can't win forever! Maybe one of you lot will be the first to defeat Achilles.
I'm Bolo. Who are you?
Well met, Bolo. I'm Jason.
If I picked your pocket?
Yes, Bolo, I would. You shouldn't be doing that.
Where are this boy's parents?
Please. The stork says we'll all go hungry if I don't.
Who's the stork?
My new father. He has many sons, but I'm the newest.
And he tells you to pick pockets?
All the boys do it. The stork says it gets easier with time. I hope so.
Bolo, this stork character is taking advantage of you.
No. He got me out of the orphanage. I was beaten there and locked up without supper. With the stork, the beatings are much lighter. I'm seldom locked up, and sometimes there's a little supper. He's really very kind. Each month, he gives a fig to the boy who brings in the most coin. Isn't he a wonderful father?
No, Bolo. He's no father, I'm afraid.
This stork weaves a net of children to snare unguarded persons.
But he's the only family I have. Sorry, Jason. I really shouldn't talk anymore. I'm supposed to be on the lookout for marks. You don't know what a mark looks like, do you?
Welcome, good sir. Khufu offers finest rags and tallow in all Greece.
I've no interest, though you're the first merchant on Mycenae willing to deal with me.
That's because Khufu not from Mycenae, but from Egypt. People here miss Princess, but Khufu never knew her. Khufu, here you have great ship. Perhaps need boy? 2 boys help crew?
What?
Khufu offer fair price.
The guards will hear of your trade, wretch.
Foreign king misunderstand. Khufu still, learn speak language. Khufu offer only service, use of workers, not sale.
Your offer insults me. Don't insult me again.
Humblest apologies, good sir. It appears Khufu has nothing to offer you.
Blast! I lose again!
If I know Hermes, he's more likely found in the market than here at the shrine.
So what exactly does a warden protect, if not his own wife?
Anyone else hungry?
great market of Mycenae. The weapons sold here are tempered by the blood of men from every land. Each piece of battered bronze knows the glory of battle. Better a weathered blade from Mycenae than the finest arms of lesser nations.
That's a bit generous. Some of the blades sold here are so pitted you could see right through them.
I don't know about Iolcus, but here, guards don't chat with passers-by.
Some blame you for the loss of Princess Alcime, but not I. I know what it is to lose your beloved.
I'm sorry to see one widowed so young.
Oh, I'm no widow. Not yet. Forgive me, my name is Zosime. My husband Pythias fights to pay our debts in the arena.
That seems like harsh justice.
Seems. He fights for sport to line the pockets of Patroclus. His sport. Our lives. Pythias has to win. He just has to. Pythias.
State your business here.
I am Jason, King of Iolcus, and I will speak with King Lycomedes in his palace.
Raise the gate! Beyond this gate lie the royal grounds of Mycenae. The palace, arena, agora, and Ares Watch. The king is expecting you. You would do well not to tarry, sir. The king is
The liberation of Samos. King Lycomedes and the Mycenaean army free Samos from the rule of the Black Tongues.
Freedom is neither right nor privilege. It is a spoil of war.
King Lycomedes. The fall of Corfu. King Lycomedes destroys the Black Tongue stronghold on Corfu. The mountain fortress, thought impregnable, fell before the might of Ares' legions.
They said it would take a lifetime. For my men, that meant one honest winter's work.
King Lycomedes.
Pity on a poor crier, sir.
Go to my ship at the docks. My crew will feed you.
Bless you. How cruel that one so kind will find such a fate on Mycenae.
What do you mean?
Can't you hear it? The fates speak to those who listen.
Do they? And what do they say?
Listen for yourself. Achilles practices in the arena as we speak. Perhaps he can tell you.
The arena, the very heart of Mycenae.
Well